Good morning, boys and girls. It is Unit 5, Day 6 of Wilson Reading Instruction. Last Thursday, we did our checkup, which you know is our halfway point through the unit. And now we are moving on into the final leg of Unit 5. We will actually take our first test this year on Friday. So, today we are going to learn 3 more syllable division rules as well as a new welded or glued sound. So what you need to do right now is make sure that you have something to write with and something to write on. So go ahead, pause the video, get you something to write with and something to write on, and meet me back here in a second. All right, now that you should have gotten something to write on and something to write with, go ahead and get into Google Classroom. You should be in the virtual classrooms, Google Classroom. Go to classwork, ELA, and then choose today's assignment, 9/28/2020. And then go ahead and get up the Unit 5, Day 6 Interactive Journal. So, virtual Google Classroom, classwork, ELA, 9/28/2020 assignment. So, get that journal pulled up. Once again, pause if you need to. The first thing we're going to start with today is drilling sight words. So we have put, pull, full, push. Now this time I want you to just look at them as I flash them and practice reading them. So for those 4 words, I need you to type in the sentences that go along with them. As y'all know, I usually display them, but since y'all are virtual, they are on the second slide of the slides. So if you look at the second slide, those are the sentences that you need to type in to complete your table. Or if you want to create your own sentences, by all means, go ahead. So take a couple of minutes and type in the sentences that match our high frequency words for today. And just to review the words, we have put, you should put that on the desk. Pull, not like a swimming pool, this is Pull. Pull the sled up the hill like you're dragging something. We have full, not FOOL, like you crazy fool. This full means to be filled up with something, full. The children are all full from the big lunch, FULL. And then, of course, we have push. Help me push that big box. And remember, boys and girls, it is up to you to make sure that you know all of your high frequency words because these are our sight words, words that we should words that we should for sure know just like that by the time we are in 5th grade. And as I stated, we are going to learn 3 new syllable division rules today. The first one, and this is slide number 4 if you want to follow along with me, states if there are 3 consonants or letters that are not vowels, if there are 3 consonants between 2 vowels and 2 of them form a digraph or 2 consonants that stick so close together they make a single sound, the letters stick together. So let me say that again. If there are 3 consonants between 2 vowels and 2 of them form a digraph, the letters stick together. So an example of this would be the word ethnic. Ethnic. This is related to somebody's ethnicity or their culture, their race. Ethnic. You see the ethnic is spelled ETHNIC. Ethnic. And boys and girls, if I'm following the syllable division rule, it states if there are 3 consonants between 2 vowels and 2 of them form a digraph, the letters stick together. So, if I am trying to identify my syllables, of course, the first thing I look for is my vowels. And ethnic, that would be my E and my I. And looky there, we have 3 consonants in between those vowels. Not our 2 like we've been working with, but 3. We have a T, an H, and an N. But what do I know about this TH? It's one of our digraphs. Remember? Thumb. So, the rule states when there are 3 consonants in between 2 vowels, but 2 of them form a digraph. Let me go ahead and underline those together. That's how we mark our digraphs. Then this needs to stay together. And we know from our previous syllable division rule, when we have 2 digraphs that stay together, they typically go with the first syllable. So we would break ethnic up like this. Ethnic. 3 consonants in between 2 vowels, and the ones that form a digraph stay together. Ethnic. And then, of course, if I wanted to identify my syllable type, I just work syllable by syllable, vowel by vowel. So if I'm looking at my first syllable, F, my vowel is my E. Is there anything closing in my E? Yep, I have a TH digraph. And this E is making the short sound, E, ed, eh. So I would mark this as short, put my little breathe, that little scoop up above it, and then I would close it or identify it as a closed syllable type. Same thing with nick, N-I-C. My vowel is the I, it's closed in with the C, it's making the short sound, nick, I, itch, it. So this is short, mark it with a little scoop, and then it is closed as well. Ethnic. So that's syllable division rule number 4. Okay, boys and girls, moving on to syllable division rule number 5. This is slide 5 on your journal for today. It states that if we have 3 letters in between 2 vowels, but none of them form a digraph, so 3 letters in between 2 vowels and none form a digraph, then the first letter of the blend typically will go with the first syllable. And let's look at this word, 100. Say 100. She had a $100 bill. So write that down, tap it out if you need to. 100. This is what you should have. HUNDRED. 100. So, first things first, as always, I find my vowels. In 100, my vowels are the U and the E, and I have 3 consonants in between. NDR. NDR. However, none of these form a digraph. We don't have any or none of these form those digraphs. So, like the rule states, syllable division rule number 5, when I have 3 letters in between 2 vowels, the first letter will typically go with the first syllable. So that's how we get 100. And that DR blend, it stays together in the second syllable. And if I wanted to identify my type, syllable by syllable, vowel by vowel. U is my vowel in hun. It's making the short sound. U umbrella. It is closed in with an N. And then it is closed. Oh my gosh. I promise that's a C. Okay. And then in dread, E is my vowel. It is closed in with the D. This E is making the short sound. Dread. So mark it as short, and then let's see if I can make a better C. This is closed in. Okay, that's better. 100. Everybody practice with the word children. Children. Miss Franklin gets so excited when she sees her children on meat every day. Children. So, on your sheet of paper or whatever you are writing on, spell children. Children. Think about those sounds. If you notice, some of you might have put 2 L's in children, thinking about the word chill. However, we do not follow the bonus letter rule in children because this part is not at the end of the word. We only add those double letters, or that double L, when it is following a short vowel and it's at the end. This L is not at the end. But children, same thing. I and E are my vowels. I have an L, a D, and an R in between. And like the rule states, when I have 3 consonants in between 2 vowels, the first consonant will typically go with the first syllable. So that's how we get children. Children. Once again, this DR blend stays together in the second syllable. And if I wanted to identify the type, syllable by syllable, vowel by vowel. Children. The I is my vowel. It is short. It is closed in with an L, so this is a closed syllable. And then dren. Dren. This is one of those examples where the E almost sounds like it's making the I. However, it's children. N, not in, children. But y'all know that we're southern and country, so sometimes our words can sound like what they really aren't. So children. Short E, closed in with an N. This is a closed syllable as well. So that was syllable division rule number 5. And I know with children and hundred, our blend, the dr, ended up being with the second syllable, but sometimes, boys and girls, the blend will actually end up in the first syllable. And this happens most typically with compound words. We know that compound words are those words that are 2 words that are smushed together to make one. So everybody write down chestnut. Spell chest and then nut. Compound word. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm so excited for Christmas. So we have chestnut. In this case, we know that when we are splitting compound words, you simply split between the word. So it would be chestnut. In this case, E and U are my vowels. S, T, and N are in between my vowels. However, the S and the T, my blend, the st, chest, is going with the first syllable instead of the second. So that is where we kind of see an exception to that rule when we're working with compound words. Okay, and then our final syllable division rule for today, rule number 6. It states that when you have 4 consonants in between 2 vowels, you simply split in between those 4. So if we have the word hand clasp, hand clasp. And this is also a compound word, so boys and girls simply spell hand and then put the word clasp, clasp with it, clasp, ass, hand clasp. You'll get this. You find your vowels. I have an A, short A, and then I have another short A. So in hand clasp, I have 2 A's as my vowels. And then in between those vowels, I have N, D, C, and L. That's 4 consonants. And like the rule states, I simply split in between them. So N and D go together, C and L will go together. So hand clasp. Hand clasp. Let's do another one with 4 consonants in between our vowels. Let's do gang plank. Gang plank. Thinking about those welded sounds. Ang, ank, gang, g, ang, plank, ank. So in gang plank, I have an A and another A, just like in hand clasp. Let me go ahead and mark those, and I'm marking them in advance because I'm working with more consonants in between my vowels, and it's easier for me to see. So, gang plank, what's in between my vowels? I have an N, a G, a P, and an L. 4 consonants, I need to split down the middle. So, N and G stay together, P and L go together. So gang plank. Another case of a compound word that also happens to have 4 consonants in between vowels. Okay, so now I am going to dictate some words that have examples of the syllable division rules we just learned today. So as I call these out, I need you to write them down and I want you to scoop the syllables. So write down the words that I am calling out and scoop the syllables. If I am going too fast, remember that this is a video and that is the beauty in recording, that you can pause this and rewind it and slow it down, do whatever you need to do. So, our first word, boys and girls, write this down, scoop the syllables. Pilgrim, pilgrim. This Thanksgiving, you will probably hear a story about a pilgrim, pilgrim, pilgrim. And I will show you what you should have on your paper when I'm done calling out words. Let's do the word sandbox. Sandbox. This is a compound word, boys and girls. Sandbox. The children love to play in the sandbox. Let's do the word tantrum. Tantrum. My little brother throws a tantrum when he doesn't get his way. Tantrum. Remember, anytime if you need to tap these words out, please do so. Tantrum. All right, so far you should have pilgrim, sandbox, and tantrum. Tantrum. Alrighty, let's do the word. Let's do pumpkin. Pumpkin. I saw a pumpkin and it reminded me of Halloween. Pumpkin. And one more word. Let's do one more. How about the word complex? No, I don't want to do complex. I think that's your demonstration word tomorrow. Let's do ash can. Ash can. There was an ash can on the side of the street. Ash can. So on your paper, you should have pilgrim, pilgrim, sandbox, tantrum, pumpkin, and then ash can. So write those words down, scoop them, and then go ahead and pause the video and work. And then I will show you what you should have here in a second. Alrighty, so look at my board and compare what you have. I'm going to break each of these down. If you look at pilgrim, pilgrim, I know sometimes we say pilgrim is grim. That's short I sound. I and I are my vowels. I look, I have an L, a G, and an R in between. Those are 3 consonants. Like the rule states, when I have 3 consonants in between 2 vowels, the first letter will typically go with the first syllable. And that is the case. I put my L with the first syllable in that GR blend. Let me go ahead and mark it. That GR blend, it goes with the second syllable. It stays together. Pilgrim. Sandbox is an example of a compound word. However, you can still work the syllable division rule with it. A and O are my vowels. In between, I have an N, a D, and a B. That is another 3-letter consonant back-to-back deal. However, this time the blend, that ND, in the sand, it goes with the first syllable, and then the B goes with the second. So remember, when you are doing this, most times the first consonant with 3 letters in between will go with the first syllable. However, sometimes you have to pay attention to your blends. Where are your blends? Ind. Remember blends, two consonants that flow into each other but keep their own sound. Um, we have to keep the blends together. So sometimes the blend will go with the second syllable, sometimes it'll go with the first. Pumpkin. We have another example of our blend going with the first syllable. U and I are my vowels. I have an M, a P, and a K in between. This M and this P, that's my vowel in pump. It's making an pumpkin. So that stays together in the first one. Ashcan. Ashcan follows syllable division rule number 4. Yeah, we started with 4 today. Where I have a digraph, and the digraph needs to go with the first syllable. Ash can. And then tantrum. Tantrum is an example like pilgrim. I have an A and a U, and then the N, a T, and the R in between. This TR blend stays together. The tr, and then this N, the first letter in my 3 consonants in between my vowels, it goes with the first syllable. So pause the screen if you need to. This is what you should have. This is how your words should be marked. And that is it for reading today. Please fill out the exit slip. Anything you are confused about, I did put your notes in Google Classroom. However, if you are still confused about something, please let me know. Like I said, we have our first test on Monday. No, our first test on Friday. We must be prepared for it. So, if you still have questions, let me know. Of course, right now I am still on the live meet. If you have any questions and you want to drop by there, I am happy to help.